All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that sounds like a total contradiction, but is honestly one of the most beautiful and surprising ideas in all of math, the chaos game. So check this out. Look at this pattern. The famous Sierpinski Triangle. It looks so perfect, so designed, right? But what if I told you that this entire thing was generated by thousands of completely random actions? Something as simple as rolling a die over and over again. And that's the wild idea we're going to unpack right now. So how in the world does that work? How can total chaos create something so orderly? Well, that's what we're going to get into first. The secret is way simpler and, frankly, way cooler than you might think. First things first, the chaos game isn't really a game that you win or lose. It's more like a recipe, a simple set of instructions for creating a fractal. And believe it or not, all of that amazing complexity we just saw, it all comes from just a handful of super simple, repeatable rules. Okay, so if it's a recipe, what are the ingredients? Let's break down how you actually play this game. You'll see, it's way easier than you think. It really just comes down to 3 basic steps. First, you need a game board. A simple triangle will do. Second, you pick a starting point, literally anywhere inside it. Doesn't matter where, just plop a point down. And then step 3, this is the big one, you just follow one single critical rule over and over and over again. And here it is. This is the magic sauce, the engine of the whole process. It's called the jump rule. You randomly pick one of the triangle's 3 corners. Then you find the halfway point between where you are and that corner and you put a dot there. That's your new spot. And then you just do it again. Pick another random corner, jump halfway, plot a new point. That's it. Now, when you first start, it's going to look like, well, nothing. Just a random mass of dots all over the place. But you keep going. Thousands of times, then tens of thousands of times. And then something absolutely wild starts to happen. Out of all that randomness, a pattern, an order starts to emerge. And this really gets to the heart of it. It's an iterative process, meaning it builds on itself, one step at a time. But the thing that's driving the whole show, pure, unadulterated randomness. It is literally organized chaos. Okay, so we know a triangle works. It's beautiful. But what happens if we start messing with the rules? What if we change the shape of the game board? Let's try swapping out the triangle for a square. Now, if you play the exact same game, you just get a mess. Seriously, the square just fills up with dots. It's not very interesting. But what if we add one tiny little restriction to how we choose our corners? Just look at this. It's incredible. On the left, that's what you get with a square and pure random jumps, just noise. But on the right, whoa, all we did was add one simple rule. You're not allowed to pick the same corner you just picked. And bam, this stunning, complex fractal just appears out of nowhere. It just goes to show you how a tiny change in the rules can lead to a completely different result. Okay, so that's not the only thing we can change. There's another big variable we can play with, the jump distance. So far, we've always jumped half the distance, right? A ratio of 0.5. But what happens if we change that number? And this is where it gets really cool. It turns out different shapes have their own kind of sweet spot for that ratio. You see here, for a pentagon, a ratio of about 0.618, the golden ratio, by the way, creates this perfect pattern where the little pentagons just barely touch. For a hexagon, it's a different number. Each shape has its own magic number that creates perfect, beautiful order. All right, so far, this has been a really fun mathematical puzzle, right? But this is where things get serious. This is where the chaos game stops being just a game and turns into an unbelievably powerful tool for science, a completely new visual language. So, here's the massive idea. What if we took the randomness out of it? What if instead of rolling a die to pick the next corner, the choice was dictated by some kind of data we already have? All of a sudden, this game becomes an incredible way to visualize information. This technique has a name. It's called Chaos Game Representation, or CGR for short. And the idea couldn't be simpler. The data itself tells you where to jump next. It's like a game of connect the dots, but the sequence of data is giving you the instructions. This lets us turn any sequence of information into a unique visual pattern. And DNA is the perfect example. You know how DNA is made of 4 bases, right? A, T, C, and G? Well, we can just assign each of those bases to one of the 4 corners of a square. So when the DNA code reads A, we jump towards the A corner. If the next one is G, we jump towards the G corner. You get the idea. And when you do that for an entire genetic sequence, you get this: a completely unique visual fingerprint for an entire genome. Every single species, even every individual person, has a pattern that is uniquely their own. So let's just step back for a second. We started with what seemed like a simple, random game of jumping around a triangle, and we've ended up with a powerful new way to actually see the building blocks of life itself. Pretty wild, right? So what's the big deal? Why is this so useful? Well, it lets scientists compare huge, massive data sets just by looking at them. At a glance, you can physically see the genetic relationship between humans and chimps. Their patterns are incredibly similar. This technique turns millions of letters of code into a simple picture that says, hey, these two things are really, really close. And this isn't just for DNA. This same powerful idea is used in all sorts of fields. We're talking forensic fingerprint identification, figuring out the complex shapes of proteins. Heck, it's even used to help train AI models to spot patterns that we could never see just by looking at the raw numbers. So, what's the big picture here? It's the incredible idea that breathtaking order can pop right out of simple random rules, that tiny changes to those rules can create entirely new worlds, and ultimately, that randomness itself can be harnessed as one of the most powerful tools we have for understanding complexity. This leaves us with a final, fascinating question to ponder. When we look around at the world, from the branching of a tree to the incredible structure of a snowflake or the swirling arms of a galaxy, what other complex and beautiful systems out there are just waiting for us to discover the simple game that creates them?